Gosh, I'm feeling so nervous. I really hope everything goes well with this mission that we're all gonna go on. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, and yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. Because the conclusion will be you getting 3 good deeds. Today we finalized our plans for getting into the palace. We have mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we plan on sneaking in. I sit down on my bed and I'm about to lay down when I hear something. Ah, hey.
Hello, love. My, you're red. Were you thinking about me?
I notice that he has one hand on his chest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often lately. I notice it during practices and sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? Is he dying? Are the thorns just gonna choke out the rose?
Darling.
I shake myself at the sound of Klaude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked.
Well, you didn't seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing yourself.
That's different. He strolls inside and steps closer to me. He smiles at me mischievously.
Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue?
Klaude shakes his head, his smile softening.
I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I needed to say to you.
Klaude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. Hi.
I want to insist you reconsider going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Allura have said many times, it will be dangerous.
Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone.
Yes, and that terrifies me.
Terrifies you?
If your stubbornness leads to you putting your neck out there for someone, I would never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here where you'll be safe.
I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected.
Lucette, all I want is for you to stay safe, so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile.
I won't be able to face my father unless I am one of the people to save him.
Stubborn as always.
Irritation wells up in my stomach at the look on Klaude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. You said I've improved with my sword fighting.
You have. You've improved so much because of your resilience and drive, and because you're genuinely interested.
It's because I have a good teacher.
Oh, your compliment is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, Lucette.
My eyes fixate on his soft smile and at the gentle crinkles at his eyes. Our eyes lock, and for a few moments I am aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure what would happen if I kept staring at him. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest.
Earlier today I comforted your sister when she started crying about the things that had happened in the palace.
Emmeline? Why would he comfort her?
I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today, without anyone there. She's a rather sweet girl. I keep thinking that the two of you are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, but she wears her emotions on her sleeves, while you keep it all inside of you.
I am not hiding anything, if that's what you were implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Klaude stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I am in his arms.
Lucette, I'm always here for you.
I feel flustered again, and my mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Why would I say I'm sorry? That don't make no sense to me. Thanks for the hug, and thank you for being there.
You never need to thank me, Lucette.
But you've done so much for me. It is not just the sword fighting, it's your patience, your company, your saving me when I needed help.
That's not true. I'm pretty sure I'm the most selfish person in this tavern. All I ever want is things for myself.
I've never thought you were selfish, Klaude. He puts a hand to my cheek and looks at me solemnly.
You don't think that me wanting you is... Oh!
He's like, I want you to be safe so I can love you. Suddenly he steps back, his hand on his chest again, his breathing heavy. I stare at Klaude with wide eyes. Klaude, are you okay?
I'm fine.
He sighs out slowly, but he sounds obviously pained. I'll go get Anise.
No! I'm fine. I'm fine. I swear it. It's just a spell of dizziness.
But you... He manages a small, tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaking.
I must be tired.
But Klaude...
Do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry.
Why is he always so stubborn? He is obviously in pain. I clench my hands into fists as I frown at him. Why must you always be so secretive? You're keeping something from me, Klaude.
I'm sorry, Lucette.
Klaude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with my fragmented thoughts. Are you sure it's a good idea for you to go on this mission, sir? You're just gonna keel over on me. Chapter 9, The Rescue. We're almost at the end. Mission time.
Today I will land another hit on you, Karma.
If you can, darling, I welcome the challenge.
Princess, your side is open.
I bring my sword up closer to my side as Garland strikes me. Tonight is the first night I get to use a real sword as opposed to a practice sword. The sounds of metal clashing echoes into the night. Is this what a real battle feels like? We have been practicing under skirmish conditions for the last few days. Since tomorrow is the day we enact our plan, we are doing some last-minute practice. Remember, fighting back-to-back is better than doing it alone. Klaude dodges Jurian's sword as he speaks, but I notice that he seems to be taking special care not to look in my direction. He's been fine for the last few days, but I am not sure when his pain will return. If only he would tell me what was wrong with him. I still don't know. This is the first time I've got, no theories about who the lady was that he liked. I thought maybe it was Jurian at first, but... I don't really think so. And I don't know what's going on with the thorny tattoo. I just don't know. When Klaude finally calls the end of practice, we are all exhausted. Good job, everyone. You'll all be fine tomorrow. Garland turns to face me, a soft expression on his face.
And if it comes down to it, Jurian and I will protect you.
Garland looks over his shoulder at Klaude.
Both of you. That's our job as knights.
I'm quite capable of protecting myself, but I do appreciate the offer.
It's late. We should all get some rest.
The two knights excuse themselves, leaving me with Klaude. Lucette, you should go to bed. Princess? I have a feeling I won't sleep much tonight anyway. Be that as it may, you should still try. I'm about to retire for the night as well. We need to talk, though. Try to do it under the guise of practice. He'll just say, you're gonna wear yourself out. Go to sleep, you stupid woman. I want to talk to you. About what? Klaude takes a step back and I stare as his hand absently moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Klaude? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He is obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I've told you before that some things are better kept a secret, Princess. Klaude leans forward to set a hand on my head. Lucette, promise you'll stay behind me if we're attacked. And if at any point it looks like we may not make it, you're to run as fast as you can back to the Marchen. But that is cowardly. Lucette, don't you remember what I said before? Sometimes running is the right thing to do, Never run into an impossible situation. Instead, live to fight another day. Promise me you'll stay behind me. Please, Lucette. Give me the peace of mind.
I gotta. I can't not. Blech. Although I kind of am hoping for like a reverse of the first picture that we had with Klaude where he had his sword pointed out to protect us. I want Lucette to have her sword pointed out at someone protecting Klaude. I hope we get that. But I'll give you the peace of mind for now, even if I may not keep it later. I promise. If it will make him feel better before going into this mission, I cannot deny his request. Claude's expression softens as he moves away from me. I'll stay behind you.
Thank you, Princess. Let's attempt sleep in preparation for tomorrow.
When this is all over, I'll pry Claude's secrets out of him. Just you wait. I'm gonna get you, boo. One of these days. Tonight is the night, and everyone is just about ready to go. I can't get this feeling of foreboding off of my chest. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except... Princess! Rumpel suddenly appears, and he's coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here?
Well, of course we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here.
We'll be waiting for you tonight so that we can celebrate everyone's return.
Be careful.
Emmeline, who has been standing everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing right beside him now with a smile.
I will pray for your safe return.
Her smile wavers, and I can tell she is uncertain.
She has the great knights of Caldera, 2 witches, and a prince. She'll be fine.
Are you... I thought Rod was coming with us. Maybe he's not. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry in his eyes. Oh, Rod.
Rest assured that we will keep the princess safe.
We're not going to let Alcaster get away with what he did to Angielle and his royal family.
Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It has always been there, just beneath the surface.
Stubbornness or resolve? It is as if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder.
Your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable and always take steps in the right direction. That is why I know you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, we'll all be waiting for you. All of you. Stay safe tonight.
I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delora who walks away first. We all follow behind. The fellowship of the rescue party for the king and queen. The night has just begun. Oh, this music again. Man, I have not heard this music in forever. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall.
There's the hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal.
Klaude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It is an abrupt gesture and doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will be fine. Right? Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jurian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Klaude is at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people.
This way.
We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? How indeed.
I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be all right. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed.
Princess, leave most of the fighting to us if there's any to be done. I know. I will only fight if I need to.
If only I wasn't cursed, I would be able to fight to my full extent.
I think you're still quite capable without all your magic, puppeteer.
Oh, a compliment. It's an honor, Miss Karma.
I'm only in this dress because of Jurian, you know.
Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Klaude.
I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say.
That's what they all say.
We're here.
Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me.
This should lead to the throne room.
I did not know we had a secret passage in the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I stick close to Klaude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. Nice. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. Delora drops her hands once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic.
Let's keep going.
Let's not dally. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all of the soldiers standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually, we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison.
I'll stand watch.
Be careful, Waltz.
I will.
We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, and then at Klaude, who nods a little stiffly.
We'll be right back.
In accordance with the plan, Klaude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jurian, and Garland continue on to the prison. They should be fine, but I am still worried. My eyes wander to Klaude, and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest.
Why?
I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Klaude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What is he talking about? Klaude? I just need some space, Princess. But I am fine. I cannot help but feel irritated at the way Klaude has snapped at me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this way. It's... He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse, right? Most of the time he is sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It is like he is two different people. I cannot understand why he is like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Lucette, I wish I could explain, but if I did, you would hate me. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. I could never be afraid of you. What is there to be afraid of? Klaude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said, too. Is he talking about that one woman from before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I am not like her. Lucette. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it is Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading toward us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They aren't in the prison. We've been had.
I have no idea where else they could be.
In their rooms? Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words had just left her mouth when the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me.
It's the alarm! Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running toward us with a harried expression on his face.
The knights are on their way.
How did they know we were here? I'm assuming somebody saw the sleeping knights in the throne room? In seconds, I hear the clanking of metal, and then there are knights upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard rushes at me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Klaude an opening to attack him.
Lucette! Stay behind me!
I promised I would, remember?
Let's keep it that way.
A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Klaude that I know. A knight manages to separate Klaude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! Ooh, Delora. I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He is only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they are asleep.
Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier.
Delora drops her hands and turns to address Waltz, Klaude, and I.
Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Jury and Garland and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen.
Splitting up is not part of the plan.
We don't have much of a choice anymore if we're going to get the king and queen out of here. We have to improvise. Now go!
Klaude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz.
Let's go.
The three of us rush out and into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Klaude watch for enemies on either side of us.
On our right.
Klaude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low toward a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Whoa. Waltz snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to be able to get the upper hand. There are so many of them. I don't know if it's Alcaster or Mithros. I'm just gonna go ahead a little bit. If he's gone, I'm gonna assume it's Mithros. Well, if it isn't the most desirable princess. I look around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he is nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder.
Lucette!
I turn and see Klaude running toward me, a panicked expression in his eyes. Oh no, it's Varg, isn't it? It's frickin' Varg. I take a step toward him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Varg! And I gotta find a voice for you that doesn't suck, apparently, because some people were not happy about the voice I chose. I'll try to make him sound more wolf-like, shall I? Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. Oof. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Klaude to the floor and blows me backwards. Okay, wow. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. I was not expecting that. Klaude.